Welcome back to The Record. The United States is getting ready to resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 33 years. Here's the president on this dramatic shift in U.S. policy.
We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing. We've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also. I'd like to see a denuclearization because we have so many, and Russia has some. Russia's second and China's third, and China will catch up within 4 or 5 years. I think de-escalation would be, they would call it denuclearization, would be a tremendous thing. And it's something, we are actually talking to Russia about that, and China would be added to that if we do something.
The director of the CSIS Project on nuclear issues, Heather Williams, joins me for more on this. Heather, there are a lot of people in the national security complex in Washington who have wanted to see this happen for a long time. George W. Bush didn't want to do it. Obama didn't want to do it. Biden didn't want to do it. So what do you think of the president's decision to resume nuclear testing? And why haven't we done this since 1992 when other countries were doing it?
Yeah, before diving into the nuts and bolts of the statement itself, I think it's important just to point out what a huge strategic signal this is that the president made. He is clearly trying to show that the United States is interested in and ready to compete with Russia and China on nuclear issues, which he hasn't been totally clear on before. So just the nature of the statement itself is a really important milestone for this presidency. In terms of what it means that if the U.S. does get back to nuclear testing, I think the president could have meant one of two things. One, he could have been saying that the U.S. would return to nuclear explosive testing similar to these images that you're seeing now. People often think that this involves mushroom clouds. It would more likely be a return to underground nuclear testing. However, the U.S. is at least 36 months out from that. The other option of what the president could have meant was that this would be increased testing of nuclear delivery platforms. And this is where Russia and China have been doing a lot of active testing. Russia did 2 major tests in the past month alone of a cruise missile and of an underwater drone. And so my hunch is that the president is more referring to testing of nuclear delivery platforms, and we aren't going to be seeing mushroom clouds going off anytime soon.
Right. Certainly Russia has been flexing, and Putin has been making a real show of it of late. President mentioned that Russia is second when it comes to nuclear weapons, China a distant third. But from a technological perspective, because so much has changed in the last 30 years, has our lack of testing put us at a disadvantage in some way?
According to political, military, scientific experts, no, it has not. The United States National Nuclear Security Administration in the Department of Energy consistently certifies that the nuclear arsenal is ready. They do this thing called stockpile assessment management. According to the directors of the national labs, along with political leaders who President Trump has appointed, there is no need for the U.S. to return to explosive underground nuclear testing right now. However, where I do worry that the U.S. could be falling behind is in those delivery platforms. Russia and China have just been expanding their arsenals at a rapid rate. China is increasing the number of nuclear warheads by 20% per year. Russia is developing all of these new dual capable platforms, meaning they could carry nuclear along with conventional, whereas we are years behind our planned nuclear modernization. So things like nuclear capable bombers, cruise missiles. And so in that area, we could be at risk of falling behind.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.